Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's been longer than I wanted it to be since the last time I played this. God, I don't even remember. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I wanted to get back to it sooner and do the rest of it, but didn't happen somehow. I actually kind of want to start streaming more in general, but anyway, the Stanley Parable 2, except it's actually Ultra Deluxe. Okay, yeah, I put the right game name anyway. That's the opening cutscene again. Okay, so there was the one ending. You don't stand there, you just close the door.
Handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer.
Okay.
Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Yeah, that's the ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, so I'm pretty sure I didn't get every regular ending. I don't care that much. I'm mainly just playing around with what the bucket. I'm mainly just playing around with what the bucket can do.
Stanley embraced the bucket.
Embrace the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yeah, did I do everything the narrator said to do yet with the bucket? I don't think I did. What? What? Trust the completionist instinct. There's freaking. Oh my god. Stop kidding yourselves. There will be no reward. Oh my god. Wait, how many of these did I have? I think I found 2? Are these actually hints on how to do it? On how to get all of them? Is this some kind of game? Looks at the camera. Broom closet with the bucket.
Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
I mean,
Stanley,
sure.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object?
God, it's
which happened to
amazing
lay
how
in your
much
path
effort they
in
put
an
into
even
this shit
partially
post.
enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Bucket good.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion.
Oh my god.
Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
What?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Oh, wait. I think I remember this one.
Stepping in.
Haha. Because the boss knows that because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Sure. I don't remember this one being weird. Yeah, I just like leave. You just like leave the boss's office before the doors can close on you. I don't remember where you're supposed to go after this, though. Oh, it shouldn't be too bad to figure out. Oh, hey, look at that. Ah, yes. The void. Let's go. You are now leaving. Escape pod bay. Ah, yeah, well, this one, you just leave. I don't think the elevator works, so you have to, like, kind of walk up all the stairs, but, like, you can leave. Video games. Walking simulators. How many flights of stairs is on here? Ah, yes, escape pod launch bay. We're just gonna keep walking into the void, or... Alright, we're gonna walk into the void. Oh my god, there it is. The escape pod. Apparently. This is exactly what I thought this outcome was going to be. But without the sensual petting of the bucket. So long, space bucket. Oh my god. Can't say I'm disappointed, though. That was amazing. The bucket leaves.
All of his co-workers
But not
were
us.
gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a message.
Where'd the bucket go? That was the whole thing for the stream. It's gone 10 minutes in. Okay. Alright then, now we do the escape pod.
When Stanley came to
That's the only thing I can think of right now.
He entered the door on his left.
I didn't think it would make the bucket, like,
Coming
leave.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright. Let's do this again.
Stepping in.
I can still go in the executive bathroom. Neato. Alright, gotta go rescue the bucket. I don't know where we're going. No, what if I go down here? A paper. What does that even say? Can I read it? No. Oh my, because I'm pressing control to crouch. It's messing with the screenshot button. Are you serious? Freaking cancel. Oh. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna try zooming in on this. Let's see how this goes. I can't read it. Thank you, JPEG, Steam. Screenshots. Well, take a screenshot of this yourself. Whatever, I've lost interest. I'm just delaying the inevitable. We'll all just die one day. Just like, you know, or I'll disappear into a puff of smoke. Like Thanos did to everyone. Well, not everyone. Half of everyone. I don't know. Commentary. I need the bucket back. I need the bucket back. It is literally half of the game's content. Give me the bucket. Like, can you believe this, man? Gotta dedicate a whole stream to a bucket, and then the bucket disappears after the first ending. Alright, this bucket had better be back after this. Oh my god, it just cuts to black. There is no ending.
All of his co-workers.
Swear to God, this bucket had better be there.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Bucket replacement.
Simply missed a memo.
Oh my god.
And try not to lose this one too, you dolt. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Perfect. I got the perfect thumbnail, though.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's
Okay,
office.
we're actually doing this for real this time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of
Once
any
again.
human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire.
Oh no,
if not
the
for the
human
soothing
manatee.
presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yes, thank you, bucket. Understandable. Loading the bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
We'll escape next time. Probably.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Is it gonna be all buckets?
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
This is gonna be all buckets, isn't it? That's the big dark secret. There's more than one bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly
Whoa, whoa,
dropped the
whoa, whoa,
bucket
whoa,
in
whoa, whoa.
shock.
What was that one?
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
One of them had a different.
Had never seen anything
Had it like
like
a.
this, and it
Didn't have the
very
number
nearly
on it.
burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
What is that?
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
God, I wish there was a zoom in button.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility?
Oh, just glitching out. Alright.
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No!
Can buckets die?
He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket's gonna kill us, isn't it?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
How do you high-five a
The
bucket?
made a sassy comment about taking down the system. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
What?
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the
What?
end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned.
That's
but it
oddly
was one they'd
specific,
lived
but I kind of want to do it now.
with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. Wait, what was happening?
What do you mean the door
Why the
stops?
door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No, don't tell me he's gonna throw the bucket out.
Lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself.
Oh yeah,
as long as I
that's
have my bucket
fine.
with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Huh. That was different. Like, literally not the same ending. Huh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
Bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Alright, let's try escaping this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Bottom text.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
Please.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down
Please,
into an emotional
tell me the
dumpster
secret
fire, if
passcode.
not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Oh, it is the
Was it
same?
The bucket knew all along. Was the bucket guiding him?
Whatever, I don't
This
care.
is certainly the most logical explanation.
Wait, I saw that. No. We gotta start over now. Uh-huh.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah, whatever.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
Give
was
me the
once again
collectible.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Aha, I see it.
I'm
mine.
going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Alright, now we can play the game again. We have to collect them all. It is part of the video game. It is a way of life.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read,
Alright, so now we just
Mind
leave.
Control Facility.
Like,
Although
literally.
This passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Finally. Maybe I made this joke last time, I don't
The
remember.
door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I love painful deaths. Don't you love painful deaths? That sounds wonderful. I think that with the way this works, we have the bucket, therefore we cannot die.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Oh man, pain.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
The bucket's life. Where am I going? This way, apparently.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way.
What is
but
this?
This one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to be.
Where'd the bucket go? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within. A cavernous void, but through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learned here? Will you take what you learn here with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? Sure. That's a chair. We can't sit in the chair, unfortunate. Oh my god.
Can you see how
The museum
hard
is just
it was for
buckets
Stanley
now.
to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own?
Yes,
Can you see the
25
hubris that
buckets.
blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
There's just a bucket hanging from the ceiling. Above, I think, an infinite void. The Inferno Bucket, a replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. The Stress Bucket. Presented without commentary. stress the level of water in the bucket. Can't believe they just solved, like, everything in an instant. Everything about human nature. Cave drawing of a bucket. Neato.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However clear a grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitably, is for our own good. Says you. Oh. You can actually grab it.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Death is fun, isn't it? Why are we here? Just to suffer?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together.
Oh, okay. Wait. Is this the same? What is this? What? Huh? What? Okay. Oh, okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Oh, we're going right this time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes,
Coffee
perhaps it
nut.
truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Fuel.
No.
My brain was going somewhere else.
The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Alright, we're going down here. Did I bring the bucket down here already? I don't remember. I'm gonna go with no.
Good, Stanley, I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place. You see, your friends and I are concerned.
What?
Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying.
This is a bucket intervention.
It isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's
Oh
just
my
sequel
God.
content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line?
No.
We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Broom closet. Does he actually say something if we go in this one? No? Okay. Ah, yeah, Stanley's wife. Oh yeah, the, cheating room.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who
Raw
knows where
assets
it'll go
map
off to
2.
next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Oh yeah, here we go again. Factor base 6. Small acid import. Just random made-up articles. Ever dream this man? What the f- Why does he look familiar? I swear I've seen this guy before. It's not Tobey Maguire, but he looks familiar. He looks close to Tobey Maguire. I can't describe it. What is this?
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, no.
Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Yes. It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
I refuse. I thought it was just gonna be like one of those holes you just gotta fall down.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable.
Rich lore.
It also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
This is very overkill.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Now
listen to me.
Yeah, I think there's an off
switch. It's crucial
switch.
that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket.
This isn't a switch.
It's all it knows. That is its singular personality trait.
I'm trying to figure out how to not destroy the bucket. Bucket is good.
Personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters. Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality
Why is the
traits.
screen
What
shaking
other
so
object
much?
in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise
you just
the
have to
fans
stay
will be
here.
clamoring
Alright,
for
cool.
after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
What did the
Quickly
bucket
now,
ever do to
the
you?
fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
Damn. We destroyed the game over a bucket.
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
That was something.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had...
Alright, we're ignoring everything he says this time.
Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Oh yeah, what's up with this hallway? Just randomly just decided to change. It was like the last time too.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Oh, I think I've done part of this before.
Good,
said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this
Pretty sure
bucket
it'd gone
was
that way
speaking
with
to
the
him.
bucket before.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh yeah, so like, apparently you can actually not answer the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Probably.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit.
This is
with
oddly
one of your
specific.
arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor.
They forgot the part where you
Speak
play the laugh
entire
track.
joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
Become funny.
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management,
Or I guess it would
which
be
is the
become
cornerstone of
unfunny.
good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threatened our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our
Stupid
children
mantis
must
men.
do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Now remember not to laugh too much at that.
This video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the
You will
fundamentals
die.
of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Oh, you're actually making me walk back. Okay, cool. Oh my god.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Wait, it's like this normally? I thought the unplug the phone ending is just fade to black and then credits. To be fair, I didn't know about this until like
When
last
Stanley and
week.
the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this was all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed.
Oh, it's just a dead end.
From now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
That is a dark room.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think
we've taken away his Mr. Funny Man guard.
I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
Yeah, here's the credits.
I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame?
Oh my god.
Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
He's just standing there, like, am I really in this situation? Standing here, I realize you're just like me, trying to make history. Comedy.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Which one was the tape ending? Oh, that was probably good, so that I actually get most of the endings. Don't mind me just looking at the endings on my phone. Assuming it loads.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
I'll look at it again. Okay, yeah, I don't think I've gotten that one.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct.
I go back to the cargo,
but
the
Stanley
warehouse
felt the
place
bucket calling to him,
that we were
telling
just
him
at before.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there.
Oh.
Go to the cargo lift.
Okay. Oh, there's another thing. Cool.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figurines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figurines. None of us can.
Alright, yeah, I did not know about this. Narrator dialogue.
Okay, this is day number 295.
This man was pre-recorded messages the entire time.
I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation.
Wait, is it
for
playing this in reverse?
Still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
Yes. Sell the bucket for money.
It's unthinkable
Bucket
the amounts
microtransactions.
of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Man, what a twist. The narrator was killed by something. This is a horror game now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly.
Alright, I'm gonna try to not
But
hang up
Stanley
the
had
phone
felt
this
the bucket
time.
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
Oh yeah, I didn't get out of bounds with the
go
bucket.
somewhere else. The
I should
cargo
do that
lift,
next
yes.
time.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to
But
him.
like,
It should have alarmed him.
you have to commend the writers of how forward they were taking this joke and just committing to it.
Convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Like, it takes dedication to be this committed.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick
Okay.
up the phone, and it will take...
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh my god, this is a different apartment. Sunset. Random old I need a hug. He has a mug that just says, I need a hug. Jazz music. It's me, your bucket. Press F to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press V to take me back home with you.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Press V to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Implying that's not some form of communication. Don't listen to the loud man. Press G first to go back home.
You see, he's not listening.
How
He's
long
still
until the
taking orders
bucket
from the bucket
and Stanley are
Once
sleeping in
upon
the
a time,
same
it was
bed?
me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Where'd the bucket go? The bucket. Press T to ignore anyone in your life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket.
Ah, yeah,
this
the night
sort
shift
of
for the bucket.
Shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press H to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say?
Wait,
Sturdier.
where'd the sticker
more
go?
capable of
Oh, it's still
transporting
there.
liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press V to relive this same day with me over and over.
voice saying, better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket.
God, this
Why do I
is
feel some
such a
need to point out the
powerful
ways in which
image.
it's so much more than just a regular bucket.
Press Z to go home, to work, to go home, to go home, to work, whatever. He can read it. Oh my god.
I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has
Oh
to
my
say.
god.
Anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Oh my god. It's time for the bucket sex scene.
Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now.
Close your eyes. Bucket is love. Bucket is life. Go back to work, Stanley. Just for extra comedy, they have to say it like...
All of his co-workers were gone.
What's the word?
Stanley decided to go to
Sexily.
the meeting. Perhaps he had simply missed
Sure.
the memo. The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker.
They're going out of
Stanley
bounds this
clung
time.
the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone? Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now,
The white
and for
void.
the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history.
Show me
of the
your
countless
true
wars
form.
it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps, if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket?
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God. Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already
Oh my
had all
God.
12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power.
What?
Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
Oh my... It's...
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I
Okay.
got what I wanted.
Is the bucket the... Eldritch abomination that killed the narrator? Oh my god.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered.
All right, let's go to the. Let's go to the meeting room. Oh my God, they are hints. A private but smelly place for an important person. Oh my God, we have to go to the bathroom again? I could have sworn I already looked at everything in the bathroom.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket.
Like, I mean, it's a bathroom. How much could you even look at? Oh, it's the last one, I guess.
And there it is.
Whatever.
The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
I mean, when you say get into real shit, we did just find it in a bathroom, so... I don't know, while we're here, I guess I can, not destroy the mind control.
Office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Loading.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose
Open.
on an enormous room packed with
Turn it
television
on.
screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I don't know about the press conference ending. That sounds
The monitors
different.
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
I did get the game
Everyone
show
in the
ending,
office
though.
was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
I love it, horror.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds.
Birds.
The control buttons became active again.
Burb.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all.
Penguins.
It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hand, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one
actually
was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I mean, there's worse fates. Being doomed to watch streams of cute birds for all eternity. Like, there's worse. And what?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause.
Huh?
It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Sure.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh my god,
I would
this
love
again.
nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one
Going
more
back
time.
into Elden Ring. Now remember, Stanley found the collectibles. The memory zone. Door won't open. I thought that was a companion cube.
Here's where it all began.
Not this
the
again.
First collectible. Back then,
Oh,
we had
wait,
no
I
idea
remember
how
this.
many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Seven out of 6. How many of these are we gonna get? Probably gonna be something ridiculous by the end, like
And here
8.
was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find
Oh
any
my
of
god,
them
we're just gonna
better
collect
than
all of them
6.
again.
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
No. 50-50 chance.
No. Behind the boss's office was the 4th place you found a Figurine, not the 3rd. Well, I guess perhaps I shouldn't be surprised. Memories like these are so precious and so cherished that they all just sort of blend together, don't they? You know what? If the boss's office feels like the 3rd place you found a collectible, then who am I to go making judgments?
I guess we're going this way now.
Let's see. What came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Yes, our memories are always correct. Boxes. Oh, it's
This
the
was the
that.
5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh my god.
Enjoy.
How you found it. Made in Windows Movie Maker. It's mini stand number 5. Oh my god. You found it near the cargo lift. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate 5 stars and hit the subscribe button.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Oh, you can't walk off. That's disappointing. I was just waiting to kill myself from cringe.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the boss's bathroom. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
You're in the
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move on.
It's like that one part from Spaceballs.
Goodbye, memory zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on.
Okay, I was
Stop
wondering
the
why it was
loading
taking
screen. Isn't there
a
somewhere we
weirdly
can
long
stay
time to
here, keep
load.
enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Wait, the developer's Doug's brother. This explains a lot.
Okay, yes, the boss's bathroom. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figly. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
And there it is
the
again.
very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Oh my god. This is gonna be some weird existential crisis, isn't it? Oh, is this the jump circle?
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. The time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
That they did the illusion of choice.
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was... I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then, somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But
If he was a fiction.
I've grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think I know what to do with
It takes
this.
a lot of humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley checked his ego and then proceeded on. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. A cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Stanley is retired.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Permanently.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I think... what Genma was saying earlier in
Stanley
chat.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
I think you go to, like, the boss's office, ride the elevator, but then you, like, turn around
Yet
and then
there was
ride
not
it
a
again,
single
I
person
think.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human.
All right.
Stanley was in such
This
a
is what we're
rush to
doing
get
now.
through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Okay.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Elevator. Yeah, I didn't know this was an option. Alright.
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Good question.
Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
Oh my god. It's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No! No, wait! No! I need more time to process.
Why do you need more time to process? I have a very fast SSD that I'm running the game off of.
All right. I have fully come to terms with it.
Near instant load
I have
times.
space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley. Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
Go up again. Just see what happens.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate, and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, though I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you, so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh good, we're here. Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference...
Stanley live on stage.
Somewhere.
World's healthiest human being. How we did it, the pyramids. The guy who went to Mars. That's not Matt Damon. An evening with world peace, baby.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door.
World's first sentient machine.
All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in
Nut bar.
storytelling, and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative.
427.
Oh, don't worry, you'll do great.
It-
Just
it-
be yourself
it has
and speak from the heart.
the
I'm
freaking
really proud of you, Stanley.
thing.
Okay,
There's like the
it
file
looks like
path at
they're
the
ready
top.
for you. Go get 'em.
The storyteller. The dude who came with pizza. Hey, oh, pizza's here. What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. I think I know what this is. Hold on. Welcome to the whiteboard ending. Dog mode. Alright, so it doesn't do anything apparently. It's just an Easter egg. Wait, there's a door that I can open? Me barking at the glitch in the wall. Dog. Oh, that's it, apparently. Yeah, I already did the escape pod.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Alright, we're doing that one again,
The door on
but
his
with the
left.
bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I don't think I went downstairs with the bucket.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Alright, going back up. But with the
Wait,
bucket this
Stanley
time.
said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
The Stanley Parable
Bucket
3.
said nothing.
Let's go.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over.
What? Okay then, bucket.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Alright, going back up.
No, 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 said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing. Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator. Stanley and the bucket were so close. They'd always been there for one another. Why suddenly could the bucket not connect with this passion of Stanley's? The question caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend. Surely there was a solution, mustn't there be?
Oh.
Said Stanley. I know what to do. I know how to fully express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3 over and over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's. And it would be through the public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's work. For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day arrived, Stanley was as prepared as he'd
Three,
ever been
three,
for
three.
anything in his life.
3.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over.
Unfortunately,
One
this
opportunity to
picture
share
is
a
just
true
is not
connection
3.
with a loved one. There was no
Oh my
one
God.
again. Nobody had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak, to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number
3.
3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding. The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent. And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends. And Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true companionship, was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Okay then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Stanley's
Alright, I'm gonna try going down the
only
stairs.
co-worker he would ever truly need. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I think those are the only ones I haven't done yet. Or at least the only major
Still
ones.
No one was here.
I guarantee
Stanley
you I've
needed
missed
the bucket's
something.
warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Oh, wait, I already got this
And
one.
in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket.
Duh. That is a different hallway.
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, surely not. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I don't remember if I did
Stanley
with
had
this.
felt the bucket
If I
calling
did
to
this one
him,
with the bucket or
telling
not.
him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about
I
this
might have done
fact.
this.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see? There's a sign right there. It says...
Oh, yeah, we did this one. Yeah, I did it with the bucket. I actually did it with the bucket before I did it without the bucket. And then I just had to do something else to get the bucket back. It was a whole thing. Thought I'd lost forever. Alright, I didn't do the vent without the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah, I didn't do this without a bucket.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Alright, yep, here it is. Apparently, if you do certain things, there's an epilogue. So we can do that then. Epilogue. Many, many years later. Oh yeah, this is the fast forward. This is the skip button. Yeah, I don't know what triggers this. I'm assuming I do all of the Ultra Deluxe stuff. Yeah, that's fair if you leave. Oh my god. Why are there so many office chairs? This poor office chair just wanted to make it in the world. Wanted to see the sights, be everything. Oh my god. Here's the memory room again. Oh, that's the gate. That was the gate. Oh, this is something. Oh my god, what is that? It's Cookie 9. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with this sequel, where the first game teamed with originality. The Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for, an infinitely deep hole, who cares? Where are the new endings? What about the enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines give you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reply from... Piss Order 099. Well. This is the game's legacy. Nothing. No more spin-offs. No more sequels. Unfortunate. The name button.
Jim.
Oh god. What did they do to Jim?
Jim.
No. Oh no, I can't jump. Yeah, so we fall into the back rooms. Okay. Thank you for enjoying the new content. What? Oh, there's something on the monitor, I think. Nah, just a light. Oh, alright. Hello again. It's nice to see you. It's terrible to learn there will probably never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. This Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it for the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we need to do is change the number on the game's title screen. We also really need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for a game. Revenge of the Sunshine, Return to Telephone, Dr. Tastisk, Pocketful of Home Planet, Dreams of Champion, Destruction of Ice. The Revenge of the Tax Disc. Yeah. The Stanley Parable 3. The Revenge of the Task Disc. It's absurd. I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like more work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it. But I want you to have to say as well. Let's do it. Good. That's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you've put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you that brilliant achievement, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright, there. The achievement machine is all fixed. See, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're gonna keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Oh, you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. (9:04 p.m.) Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Oh my god.
This is the story.
Alright, we can just skip that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Apparently there's still more to
Stanley
this.
decided to go to the meeting room. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere.
Yeah, here's the new
This adventure,
content.
he decided, was for all of them. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable
Yeah, we've seen this
Ultra
before,
Deluxe,
but we have a bucket this
reimagining
time.
of the game for consoles and
It's
home
completely
computers.
different.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley
More.
Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await
content.
in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Wait, Stanley, I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel. How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already? This makes no sense at all. Hold on.
Well, maybe I'm
Did
from
I
the
already show you
future.
my ideas for the sequel? I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
The elevator stopped.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
This has gotta be something interesting.
The giant door, did you see them already?
Yes.
Stanley, none of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game?
Yes to all of the above, probably.
Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly. Yes, you carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable! Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you. Clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is no Stanley Parable without the bucket. I win, 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 I win. Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
Okay. Is that it? Alright, just gonna... Alright, we gotta go in the door again.
Loving heroes today. Let's find out.
That's what I figured we were gonna have to do, but, like, you never know. Especially with this game.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes,
all this nonsense again.
Re-release with a few minor additions. Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel, an entirely new experience built from the ground
slides.
up. Why there are so many possibilities? It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything certain. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Alright, first thing we gotta do. The achievement. Nah, man, we gotta do the achievement first.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Oh my god.
Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you.
Yeah, this is
simple as that.
Much nicer looking this time. Oh my god.
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... What? Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the achievement? Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure. Composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal, as I intended. It truly speaks. What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Oh, I cut it off on accident. Oh well.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
Oh yeah, here we go.
Stanley
Bucket.
Parable 2. Now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams
No, I used up all my
progress and
jumps
innovation and
long ago.
long-term franchising potential. Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me? Stanley!
Oh my god.
Oh, thank God. I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much. I had to destroy both of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Man. Now we have no buckets. Man. Life is meaningless. Yeah, I think we have to kill the narrator next time.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then. All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yes.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well,
oh my
I
God,
mean,
bucket.
there's potential here, right? It's sort
Give
of...
me the bucket,
Okay, never mind.
please.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
I think that's basically everything
I wanted more than anything to create a
in
sequel
the game.
that would capture
So,
all
that's
the
cool.
magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait. Maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Also, I'm pretty sure this is like the default,
Really
like, void color for Unity. Which is funny to me.
Conviction. This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Alright, is the bucket still there?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
The bucket.
Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was.
Alright, the bucket is safe. We've done it. We've done most things in the Stanley Parable 3. But there's actually like a few things in like the original like standalone version of the game that are different. Alright, so last played July 3rd, 2016. Locked achievement. Go outside. Okay, yeah, actually. I can at least look at this one. I can at least look at this again. The Stanley Parable 4. Half employee, half gun. Oh. That's disappointing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't care that much. So what I was building to before. You get an achievement for not playing the original for 5 years. It's been almost 6 years. Oh my god. Alright, so I have no idea what this looks like right now, but look. I got the achievement legitimately. I think. Okay, so I have... Okay, please tell me that was actually on screen. If I didn't get it, oh well. But still. Alright, so we can play the original now. Real quick. Okay, that's an oddly long loading screen. Okay, this is loud. This is very sensitive.
All of his co-workers were...
Let's try that.
Gone. What could it mean?
Okay, I think that's close
Stanley
enough.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
A little quieter.
he had simply missed a memo.
Alright. I forget which... I forget where it was. Okay, yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to
this is
business,
so
Stanley
weird.
took
Like,
the
this
first
control's a
open door
little
on his
worse.
left. Stanley was so bad at following directions.
Like, it's hard to
incredible
describe.
He wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you
Man,
all this
the
time.
original game didn't even have
There's
a bucket.
someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you forgot. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Nah, we've
Give
seen
me a
this one.
chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did.
Yeah, whatever.
And in the end, it was all
Again,
for nothing.
we've
because
seen
this
this.
is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your
3.
experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel
We have
free
come
to
from
be
the future.
honest. I'm
We
looking
are
for some
selecting
real
3.
critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that? Yes? Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid,
Alright, come
I
on.
think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
Go.
Let's take a look.
Go.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard
Oh, yeah, I
helps you
didn't
feel
notice.
motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would
Go.
you? Perfect.
Let
me
us
boot it up.
go.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game. All about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard.
The baby is dead.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yes, well, this is beautiful.
Is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Where are you building the house?
This will
oh, here it is.
Here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes.
Yes. Majestic.
I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Go in the door.
Isn't it
there we
grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if...
Perfection.
Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
I mine diamonds.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light? Oh, no. This is
a Minecraft stream now.
I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Yeah, and now we're in Portal.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's
alright, Portal speedrun. Let's go.
I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
No portals, unfortunately.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty.
Aww.
I really don't care much to see you stumble through anymore.
Oh. So you got here by jumping down the portal elevator instead of jumping into the Rocket League goal. So yeah, in the original, they had different games for this ending. And it was amazing. Like, honestly, I like this ending better. Like the original version of it. I was like, too bad they had to change it for like copyright reasons, but like the original, like you can still get buy the original on Steam, so not too bad. Could be worse. could just be lost media or something. Although, like, bonus points that the original was made in the Source engine. So you can just, like, recreate Portal down to the fact that it's on the same engine.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
The end is never the end. I don't know, anyway. That was a Stanley Parable. I don't know what else I could possibly do with this to squeeze out more content. I don't know. I always really like this title screen, though. Anyway. This is my desktop wallpaper. It is now gone. I don't know, I there's absolutely stuff that I missed in the game, but, like, I've done pretty much everything. I don't care anymore. We're done here. Hopefully I can actually finish Pikmin soon. Anyway. It's been fun. Take care, everyone.